flat and fast course. The 50.2 kilometer, 292 meters of elevation. This race is the shortest and the flattest of the 6 races. But don't let that fool you. If we've seen anything from race 1 and 2, this is going to be another brutal race, eagerly contested by some of the world's best esport racers. Now, from the pens, as we check out the course map, there we go. We turn right, and it's downhill to the village onsen and onto the first of 3 sprints on this route. Now, however, only the country sprint counts as the beast mode key segment in lap 2. Now, at 6 kilometers, racers are going to reach Nyokyo for the 10-kilometer lap of the Forever Night City, and then at 16.7 kilometers, they're going to return back to Nyokyo to Mercury countryside, and at the 19-kilometer mark, the road will start to head up for the majority of the elevation in lap 1. Now, the beast mode segment, the key segment of race 3, is the country sprint. It's approximately 150 meters. It's the shortest sprint in the game. So I think it's the shortest sprint that we've got of all the routes in Zwift. And we hit it at approximately the 27.3 kilometer mark. So races here are going to be competing for valuable Preem points. Now, we expect the racers, to really smash that long before they hit the beacon marker. And it's going to prove to be really interesting given the current team, the leaderboard for the beast mode Preem points. Holly?
Yeah, it is, yes. The teams taking part today, we have Next by Ensured, Abus Synergy, Beast Mode, BL13, Elite, Deepak, Cryo, Movistar, Restart, Relentless, RWB, and Saris. I think I've got them all there. So then the individual and team scoring is interesting actually, because the overall, if we could okay, so you get 30 points for finishing. The first 30 across the line get points. If you're above 30, you get no points, which is quite good in the ladies because everybody scores points. But in the men's, you have to really think about the tactics. So, and the top 3 riders from each team will score points for their particular team. So, if your rider, you've really got to think about the tactics to be able to get your top 3 riders across the line in the fastest time, really, to score the most points for the team.
Yep. It is going to be really tough.
Yeah, especially if you've got more than 3 riders in your team. So if you've got maybe 6 riders, you could come together and say, right, which 3 are we going to, which 3 are going to be the 3 that score the points for the team? And the team with the most points after 6 races will be declared the champions. So it's all to play for, really. This is only race 3, and there's no maximum or no minimum on team sizes. So you can have as many from your club as you'd like in these races. So if we move on to the Preem scoring,
or the leaderboards, there we go. Okay, so we can see there that as Holly said, so the first across the line in the beast mode Preem scoring gets 3 points, second 2 points, third 1 point. Now in race 3, as I mentioned, the Mercury Islands Wandering Flats, it's lap 2, the country sprint, which, as I said, is about the 37 kilometer mark. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to set you up. We're going to let you know when that's coming around, but it's in the second lap. So hold on to your seats. This is going to be a fast one. So let's check out the leaderboards. Okay,
so we can take us through the men's first.
Thanks, Holly. So the individual top 10, we can see there going from 10 to first. We've got David from Deepak in 10th, Ika Morel in 9th, Hussein Salibi in 8th, Daniel Mundell in 7th, JP Oa in 6th, Jamie Philpott from Wahoo Esports in 5th, Nicholas Drykott from Feldrew Ponches. In fourth, Nikki Hug, who have been watching really closely, in third. Ruben Dont in second. And, of course, the very own Josh Harris from Australia there in first. Holly, how are the women looking?
Well, the women is shaping up really nicely. So in 10th, we've got Maria from Aber Synergy in 10th. Randy Gino from Restart in 9th. Jen Reel from Saris in 8th. Leah Cuthbertson, also from Restart, in 7th. Maria Marb from Beast Mode in 6th. And her teammate Alicia Haag in 5th. Christine Schneider from Aber Synergy in 4th. And her teammate Sarah Roach in 3rd spot. Catherine Curie in 2nd from Next, and Nicole Mayer, who has won both races by quite a big margin, also from Next. So that's how the ladies is shaping up.
Yeah, Nicole is absolutely smashing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can see there that from race 2, Josh Harris finished 3rd, Nikki Hogg in 2nd, and Ruben in 1st. How are the women, Holly?
I was just going to comment on the men's, actually, because that was really quite a close call, if I remember rightly. It was really hard to tell during the race. So, yeah, it's definitely worth fighting for. So in the women, we have Maria Marb. This is from race 2 in 3rd, and Sarah Roach in 2nd, and Nicole Meyer, of course, got 1st. So it was interesting, that race, because Sarah and Maria had to fight it out from quite a lot of strong ladies in their group.
Yep.
Which was
it was just
well done,
fantastic watch. And if you haven't watched race 2, there'll be a link in the description below. You can go and check it out. So cutting across to the team standings after race 2, this is not cumulative. It is just after race 2. So we've got the men's, quickly reading down the first 5 or 6 there. We've got Wahoo Esports, Beal 13 in the 2nd spot, Foundry in 3rd, Team RWB in 4th, Aber Synergy in 5th, and Cryo there in 6th.
And in the ladies, in the ladies we have Next Part by Ensured in 1st, Aber Synergy coming up behind them in 2nd, Beast Mode powered by Rose in 3rd, Restart, who only have 2 races in this, in 4th, Saris in 5th, and Cryo in 6th. So there's a lot of strong ladies there, and it's quite impressive to see them all showing up and fighting it out, as do the men.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's great to see so many elite races around the world all competing in this, and no one is giving an inch, that's for sure.
Yes, it's brutal. Racing is brutal, but this is the most brutal. Is that the correct grammar? I don't know. It is now. So these are the strongest men and women from all around the world in elite racing. So it is awesome to watch, and it's a lot easier to commentate. Actually, it's not easier, is it? So
it's just as difficult, a different kind of difficult. All right,
yeah,
I think
it is.
the
Absolutely,
men's may have just left the pens. Hey, quick shout out to Dean Cunningham, who is both the Restart Racing team manager, but he's also the guy that's organised all of this. So well done. Congratulations. This has been an awesome race so far. So if you see him in the chat there, give him a shout out, give him a thumbs up, let him know what you think. It's been so fantastic to watch. And really well done so far.
Yeah.
All
it wouldn't
right.
be happening without Dean. So
no, exactly.
Shout out to
Dean. Absolutely.
He knows, I tell him. Yeah.
But just cutting across to the men's there. So the men are out of the pens. They are heading down now. So just looking across some of the field there and getting to see who we've got. JP's there, looking down the list. Cunningham, Leckler. Just looking. I was looking at a quick look at some of the riders that are in the mix there. Josh, there's Josh Harris. I can see Josh. I'm about to click on him and see where he is at. Now, of course, the start of this race is going to be quite tricky. And there we go. This is awesome.
Wow, look at that.
This
I love
is
it.
incredible. Seeing all the races. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love seeing people's setups, not because I'm nosy. Well, I am nosy, but also because it's always like I know now, but like when I first started out, I think, oh, I bet these like elite races they have like specific,
Really awesome setups,
you,
yeah?
yeah, like like in a separate room or a separate building or something. I don't know. I had no idea. And actually, I know we said this before, but we're going to say it again. They're just the same as everybody on Zwift, whether you're Cat D or Elite Racing, everybody has a Zwift setup. Everybody is like, where's my shoe gone? Have I got my fan? Or, where's my water bottle? Oh, I've left it in the kitchen. What am I going to do with the kids? I need to, for me to do this, I've had to tell my daughter that I'm going to be, streaming because I'm in my living room,
Yeah,
So
yeah. Don't walk behind me.
We all have to juggle everything. Yeah, well, this is it. Yeah, although there's a wall behind me. But, but all of these races have to do the same things as everybody on Zwift, which I think is amazing, really. What sport can you do that we're all... I'm going to interrupt myself, because A. Larrick, he's off the front. He's giving a bit of an attack there, but they are chasing
they're putting back
down.
there. He's getting a little bit of
bit
of sponsorship time there on the front.
Yeah, let's go with Matt Wheeler. Who have we got? Yes, from Food. So he's
Alexis,
in Belgium.
Yep.
Nice.
Which is fantastic. It's just so fantastic.
Yeah,
so as I said,
down it's flat
there's
as well,
a nice little downhill stretch. It's a soft downhill. It's not very much. Certainly not going uphill. But once they hit the village Onsen, then it sort of flattens out after that. Now, as I said, this is the flattest route of the 6 races with just under 300 meters of climbing. So this is going to be one for the racers who love a bit of pace. And I was just wondering, Holly, what do you think about bike choices in this particular race? I mean, surely Aero?
No, not Bluetron. No,
not Bluetron.
I'd go with fastest. Not Bluetron. I would go with I forgot what it's called, the 2024. I've forgotten what it's called. The fastest aero bike, basically, on Zwift. But my mind's gone, so I can't remember what it's called. I want to say Pinarello, but I don't think it's that.
No, I think that still the fastest is the S-Works Venge with the discs. So I think that might still technically be the fastest. And I think, as we see from some of the side-on shots here, a lot of the DT Swiss discs there. Still a few Trons.
The Dogma. I remembered the Dogma. Dogma 2024.
The Pinarello Dogma for sure. That's a great all-round. It's a great all-round bike. Certainly leaning towards more of an aero setup than it is a climbing setup. But just looking through the bikes there, there's a few S-Works there on the right. Saris, I thought, had the Dogma. Scanning through there, certainly still a few Trons. I'm not seeing too many Blue Trons, although I can see Restart there just on the blue-purple mixed Tron. So I'm sure that counts as a Blue Tron.
Of course. Of course it does. I just Dricot has a 6-second lead. Actually, they are pushing the pace in the group behind, but 6 seconds is quite a. And I was watching his watts per kilo. He was doing 7 watts per kilo. He's now eased up to 6 watts per kilo. But he races for Foodra, which I now realise that's FPC. So good job from Dricot. Is it Nicholas Dricot? I want to say Nicholas Dricot.
I think it is, and he's actually broken out quite well now. And that's the thing with this particular race. Like the race 2 around in Yorkshire there, where it was very much, if you're not going up, you're going down. This is flat. So I think maybe I can see some of the strategy here is to go long early and see if you can separate the group. Now, Dricot's out the front. It's going to be a challenge. It's still a long race. I mean, sure, it's only 50 kilometers. And when I say only 50 kilometers, I mean for these guys, 50 kilometers is still a massive effort. But it's going to be interesting to see how well he can hang off the front there, given that he's got like a 6-second gap there over Niall Beatty. it's going to be a tough outing if he can hang on to that front. Now, of course, it'll all depend on what the chasing group does. Are they going to marshal? Are they going to come around? Are they going to start to find some leaders who are willing to shut down that gap? We'll have to wait and watch.
Yeah, here's an interesting part actually, because I think the rolling resistance, unless they've changed it again, the rolling resistance increases on this, what would you call it, a gravel section.
Yeah, this dirt
section.
So
you really have to be, you really have to be paying attention. I say that because I have been dropped on this particular part before. I think everyone had steamrollers and off the back I flew, but you have to pay attention on it, because if you're slightly off the back and the pace is being pushed, it's harder to get back.
You're right.
I think.
And I think especially on lap 2 with tired legs, it's going to be all that much more difficult. You've really got to be paying attention, and you've got to put an extra bit of power in, an extra kick, just to make sure that you're carrying that momentum through and staying on the front there. And I can just see Stuart from Wahoo Esports is saying it's Josh Power, not Josh Harris. So there's a bit of a shout out there for him. And RT says, yeah, Drycott's on a mission to spend all his matches early. So that's going to be fun to watch.
Why not? Yeah, I can see. We're just watching Ika at the moment, and fun story. I actually met him 2 days ago, which was absolutely amazing. Yeah, we went to. Well, I was in France last week, and him and his wife Rosa, who I raced with, they live about half an hour from where I was staying.
Oh, wow.
We went to Spain for the day. We went to San Sebastian and met Ika and Rosa, and it was amazing as well, because he races and he commentates for the Spanish community for this race. Like, does what we do, but in Spanish, and races. The guy is a legend. Like, I credit where it's due. Yeah, and we had such yummy food and went on a roller coaster that was 120 years old, and it was just super good. So meeting fellow Swifters in real life is
that sounds fantastic. It would have been awesome.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah.
All right, so we're just watching.
Wheeler
there. Oh, with I'm gonna.
Matt,
sorry,
Matt.
Nigel. Is it Nigel? Nigel. I'm sure I'm going to get his name wrong. The Norwegian Viking is back.
I had voice notes telling me how to pronounce his name, and I'm so sorry. I still mess it up. So yeah, we're going to call him the Norwegian Viking, which is pretty damn cool nickname to have, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Now he won race 1. Unfortunately, couldn't make race 2, but he's back in the mix for race 3. So I'm going to be watching this really closely between him and Josh Harris. So to see what's going to happen here. So I know that Josh loves a nice little punchy route, a flat route, just the same. So yeah, it's going to be great to see how this turns out. But at the moment, we can see the group still together for the most part. I think Nicholas. I'm just trying to see if Nicholas is still up the road there. He is round about 6, 7, 8 seconds up the road. They're just going through the banner now. So it's going to be it's going to be interesting to watch how that goes. But the ladies will be kicking out very shortly if they haven't already. But you mentioned, there we go. Yep. You mentioned
literally,
that
you were right on cue then. Well done.
It's almost like I do this for a living.
You do it for a living, do you? Really?
No.
Well, that would be the dream, right? To talk about.
That's right. How great would that be?
Race.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do it for the love of it.
You were mentioning
how many green jerseys? Wow.
Yeah, it looks solid, doesn't it? How many?
Wow. So agreed.
You mentioned that we've got an omission from this race, Holly.
Yes. So Nicole Mayer, who, shout out to Nicole, she did actually message me and she did say that she wasn't racing today because she can't. So it will make it interesting though for the other ladies. Will somebody try and attack? They will obviously know by now that Nicole is not there because her name won't be on the list. So it's going to be interesting. Will they go on?
Yeah. Do you think there's been a collective sigh of relief there because they know that the powerhouse Nicole, who has been smashing the last two races by 2 minutes. It's been phenomenal watching Nicole just lead off the front early in each of the races and just open up these massive gaps. Do you think some of the ladies there are breathing a bit of a sigh of relief there and knowing that they're in contention here for first place?
I don't know. See, if she was, well, we'll talk about last week's briefly. Whose job is it to chase her down? So she fires off the front. Obviously not her teammates, because you don't chase teammates. But whose role is it to chase her down? And she did get caught once in the race last week, and then Smart Tactics got her off the front again. I have to shout out to Catherine Curie. At least I haven't been told anything. I just rewatched it and figured Catherine Curie was quite rightly helping Nicole to get off the front again. So, which was smart.
Yeah, good team tactics.
But then the ladies in the pack, whose job is it to chase and to hunt her down and to get her back again? But Leah Cuthbertson, I'm just going to shout out to Leah Cuthbertson because she's racing. And she's in Scotland. They've got snow there this week, actually.
Oh wow!
Well, it's January in Scotland, so I guess that's kind of normal. But I don't think you in Australia with your 40 degrees know what snow is. To be honest,
no, not at the moment.
Yeah, earlier you were like, "Oh, it's too hot to eat," and it's like 38 degrees. Meanwhile, Leah's got snow, and I've got whatever rain that is outside. I don't know. I'm sure there's different types of rain, but yeah. So well done for Leah racing. I don't know what the ideal temperature for Zwift is. For racing, maybe because when it's too cold, do you put your fan on? Do you not? Do you wear a jumper? What do you do?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. No, it's a tough one. And as I said, shout out to, I know that everyone is racing from around the world. I mean, we are talking about watching some of the best elite esports races in the world in this race, which is fantastic. And again, it's an amazing credit to Dean pulling these riders together, getting them involved, getting them really enthusiastic about this race. But special shout out to Josh Harris. It is just 3:15 in the morning where he is at the moment, and he is absolutely smashing it there. So fantastic to watch. But certainly, as you say, indoor weather. Obviously, you want it to be nice and cool. You want it to not be too warm, especially not 40 degrees, which is what it has been here in Australia. But it's a real trick, isn't it? Getting your internal set up just right, where you're not overheating, you're not too cold. I mean, personally, for me, I prefer to be cooler rather than warmer. But you get used to it being pretty warm here in Australia. All right, just switching across to the men there, we can see just running across the top of the team that the cameras there. We've got David, Dean. Dean, there we go. Just the man we're talking about, Dean Cunningham, up out of the saddle, pushing hard there.
Can't see his wheels though. I think they're made of stone. I'm not letting that go. Dean and his stone wheels. Yeah.
Holden's got a great camera set up there. Ika, as you were just talking about, Josh Power.
Ika, I got told.
Ika.
Power. Yeah.
So Josh
Ika
there, and exactly. So pushing hard, really working that little pinch that they were just climbing through. As I said, there's only just under 300 meters of climbing in this 50-kilometer race, but that doesn't mean that those little punches, those little rises, don't hurt. And at this pace, you certainly want to be on the money when it comes to making sure that you got the right power coming out of these climbs. Now, I was having a quick look at some of the power numbers for the men's out of the last race and the women's as well. So Ruben, Nikki, and Josh. Now, looking at their power, Ruben was averaging 4.6 watts per kilo. That's 328 watts. For race number 2, his normalized power was 376. So that is
not rookie numbers. He is like one of the best in the world. I don't know if there's like a
well on
there is a ranking, but
Yeah,
Go on.
on the Zwift Racing app, I was looking at this earlier today. On the Zwift Racing app, he is number one in Diamond class, which is the top class. Ruben is number one ranked. So
Nice.
these
He
are
is
the
the
kind of
guy to
races
beat.
we're watching here.
Yeah, it is outstanding. And I know we joke around and things, but what these guys do is insane. Like, this is the top. Doesn't get any higher. You know, these people are the best in the world.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
And to show up at 3 a.m. because you don't get to. It is very hard to find a time that suits everybody in the world. It's impossible, in fact. So
hang on, sorry, I've just had a quick note there from Ruben. Ruben's not racing today, so I thought I saw Ruben in the list, but I could be wrong there.
I thought he was too.
Shout out to
we
Ruben.
can talk about how awesome he is anyway.
Absolutely, especially after race 2 and coming second there. So Ruben,
you could win it, but not be part of it. Anyways, you'll still win it, Ruben.
If Ruben's watching, he can be our director of special comments. If he's happy to give us any insight there onto what the races might be feeling, because as much as I race, and I know you're an elite racer, Holly, you know, being in this mix is just a whole different world. So
it really
Jamie Philpott's in the mix as well. So
nice.
Jamie was racing. I don't think it looks like he's not racing, or if he is, he's doing a great job of chatting and racing at the same time. So just looking at the men's here. So Corrigan is out the front from Saris Esports.
Yeah, 13-second gap.
Yeah, he's making a bit of a punch there.
Doing a thumbs up on his bike. Yep. Excellent.
Yep, from the US there. So again, you know, they're only 14 Ks into this. It's going to be really interesting to watch. How long can he hang on to that? Now, is he going to be like Nicole and just extend this lead to make this gap even grow even further?
No, because Dean's hunting him down. I can see him behind. Look at that, 6.5. Dean's doing 6.5. He's not hanging around today. He's like, nope, I am going for it. I'm going to prove that I do not have stone wheels. That's what Dean's on about, I think.
I think definitely that Dean doesn't have stone wheels. I mean, it's
no.
He's been so fantastic in not only racing in this, but organising it as well, and everything that comes along with this. All the double verifications, making sure all the racers have all the information they need, especially for all these events. It's been fantastic, and I think Dean's done a fantastic job. So if you see him in the chats, give him a thumbs up. Just drop in and say thanks to him, because look, a lot of these times, event organisers only get feedback when something goes wrong.
Yes, people are very quick to criticise.
Yep.
It's much. Yeah, people are very, very quick to criticise, but when things are going right, I think that's
no one says
worth
anything.
A mention as well. Yeah. Well, we can't we? Because we can say what we like. But this is going wonderfully, because I get to sit and do nothing and watch these guys race. It's amazing.
Absolutely smash themselves. Now, I do have some Weebel stats. Now, I've got to take the Weebel stats that I've got with a grain of salt. But Corrigan there is sitting at 3.7, so he is really digging deep here, pushing hard. You know, he's pushed that gap out now to about 3 seconds. But I suspect, you know, it's going to be a tough one for him. I've just given him a thumbs up on the race there.
Yeah, give him some extra watts with the radar.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to
hold it.
It's
going to be a tough one. No.
I also think sometimes people attack. I don't know if this is what he's doing, but sometimes people attack just to see which other races in the pack are
going to go
chase or close, or just to see what the people will do. So he's been caught. So good effort.
He's back in the bunch there, and you're spot on. So we were talking earlier on about strategies here. Now, as I said, this is a mostly flat course, and it was going to be interesting to see what the strategies is going to be. Are there going to be, you know, probes at the front? Are there going to be little, you know, attacks off the front? As you say, Holly, to see if there's others willing to go, or if it's, you know, if the group is willing to sit back and let someone just ride off the front. That was something that I was really interested to see here, and I can just see in the chat there as well. RT has joined us, so thanks, RT. JD as well, a friend of the show and friend of the channel. He's joined in to say hi as well. So we've definitely got if you've got Miguel's there. Hey Miguel, and
hey,
Bren. Bren's joined in the chat there too. So if you've got any comments or any interesting insights there, drop them in the comments.
Talking of comments, no racing without people like Dean. Thanks for that from Ruben. So absolutely, Ruben, totally agree. And people like you that show up, people like you, you know, you know what I mean? Like, just for people just wandering into gym and just hopping on a spin bike. No, it's far more than that. But it wouldn't happen without a lot All
right, just seeing the ladies there on the screen.
Yes, I got interesting facts actually. So Leah Sophie, who races for Synergy, I want to say Synergy. Yes, she just races for Synergy. Yes, so she's 26 and she's been cycling for 2 years. Like I wish she'd just make it up and say, "Oh yeah, like 12 years I've been doing this and I'm at this level." Like no, 2 years. And
that's incredible.
It gets better. It gets even more impressive. So she did the UCI Gran Fondo World Champs in Aalborg. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's in Denmark. I had to ask where that was because I didn't know. And she's from Germany originally, and she's also a dentist. So there she is.
Oh wow, okay.
Stunning in her cycling gear. Yeah, so she's Germany.
From Abus, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so she's
fantastic.
A dentist and does this and juggles her job and life, and like we all do, you know. But I just think it's. I'm also really loving like talking to by like message, you know, typing to all these racers, because it's really cool like getting to know who they are as people, because I see them all the time in the races, but I don't really kind of know them.
Well, you don't get a sense of their background, and you know, being dentists, you know, teachers, people who work in different fields. These are regular people, you know. As you say earlier on about their setups, you expect these elite racers to be, you know, just completely 100% focused on racing, and that's all they do. No, it's not all they do. They're out doing, you know, a whole bunch of other, you know, proper, ordinary, boring things, and then they get home. It's 2 a.m. It's, you know, 12 at night. It's, you know, 8 a.m. and they're jumping the bike, and they're absolutely smashing themselves in these races. So it's amazing to watch. Yeah,
I love it.
So we can see that the men's there, the men's, are back. Still in Mercury. They're going to be heading back out to the countryside very shortly as well. But no, it's fantastic to watch, and we can see there that I'm just looking at the gap. So we've still got 40 in this front peloton. They are averaging about 210 watts, so gives you a sense of, you know, where their head's at. There's no one's really putting any, you know, way serious power down. They're averaging about 38, 39 kilometers an hour here. Happy to sit in the group, change that front up, you know, cycle through the front, and make sure that everyone's staying in contact. But I think with the women's as well, and I think that the other women will be pretty happy to see this. The same thing's happening. That front is staying together. There's no one riding off the front. And again, I think we're going to see a different race than the women's.
Noodling along and thinking.
Yeah.
But then you wouldn't want to, on flat routes, would you want to knowing who you're racing against, the best in the world, there's no way I'd be pulling at the front. Or would I? I don't know. It's hard to call because it's, what do?
You can't help yourself.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to.
You can't help yourself. You'd be on the front every time.
I'd be like going flat, especially.
And especially if there was someone off the front there and there was a gap to bridge, you would be bridging that like nobody's business.
Too right. Yeah. It is
right, just watching the men's here. So sorry, just got a bit of a climb. We're starting to about the 19 kilometer mark. So we're starting this little climb up. So this is the section where we get the most elevation in each lap. Now, as I mentioned, there's about, as Holly mentioned, there's 292 or 290 meters of climbing in this race. This is where most of it comes. Now, This is going to give us a good sense of what people are thinking. I think we've got a couple of guys in the front just moving off the front. Nothing serious.
Yeah,
Mona there off the
Mo.
front. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
no
getting his
breakaway attempts here
airtime.
at the moment. Yeah, exactly. Norwegian Vikings just saying, hey, we've got you. We're still in the group there, so everyone calm down. It's going to be pretty okay through this little climbing section here. But it will pinch up just around up towards this banner. It does pinch up a little bit, and they'll be flattening out again. But we can see that the women are still in the Neokyo City. It's very much a nice flat course through there. And actually, I love coming through Neokyo. It's such a wonderful, it's wonderfully engaging. All the graphics, and the course is flat, so it's a
But
really
it's
good
dark,
spot to race.
though.
Yeah, that's right.
It's dark. It never gets light in Neokyo, and it never gets dark in France. Here we got Sarah. So if your name's Sarah, so it's Sarah
Sarah's.
Bishop. Yeah. Sarah Olim and Sarah Roach. I think they all in Synergy.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm just watching Sarah Bishop there. So she's got a teammate as well, and I'm wondering if they're in the same race.
Oh,
I'm not sure who Sarah's racing with, but that's fantastic. If that's the case, that is awesome. So Bren's just saying we just missed a probing attack just off the front of the ladies there. But it looks like they've all come back. So, yeah, certainly, Bren, these kind of races, you're going to see that. You're going to see some of the riders just pushing off the front, seeing who's got the lead, seeing who's got a bit of gas in the tank to try and make a breakaway, maybe even just shake the group up, see who's got the right mix for this kind of racing, or see who's a little bit, unsure of themselves. Maybe they're going to panic. Maybe they're going to, relax off, and that breakaway is going to extend.
Yeah, I'm trying to load up the chat whilst we.
So I've got the men's just in front of me there. So, yeah, as I said, I'm watching Bishop there at the moment from Relentless. Again, these guys, they're all, I can see orange and red numbers in terms of the Weebles. They're all sitting around that, 5, 7, 6, 3, minus 1.3 there for Alexi. Who else is down the list there? Yeah, Alexi Larocque, sorry.
For those that don't know what Weebles are, there's a website called intervals.icu, I think it is, and you can get like charts. So you're given it's a tech thing, right? But you get like an allocated number of Weebles, like depending on like what you can do physically, your heart rate and all this sort of stuff. So I think it's like, for example, 16,000. So then you put the number in. Okay, I had help doing this. All right, I'll be honest. Anyway, you put the number in, and then it gives you like a chart. So if your Weebles, it's like a battery. If your battery runs out, it goes below it goes to the bottom, and then you ease up, and your battery recharges. So it is quite cool. So we've got Brian Bishop and Sarah Bishop there. Oh, it's Brian. Of course it is, because that's.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
That is who it is. Yeah. So Brian, did you know he hunts aliens? So I asked for interesting facts on the on the Discord server for the Restart series. Obviously, all these races are invited to it, and I've forgotten his first name now. Brian, is it? Yes. He hunts aliens. So do with that what you will. There is a bit more to the story, but I thought hunting aliens sounded quite cool. So I don't know what the aliens are doing right now, because Sarah and Brian are busy racing this.
Well, they're hunting other riders in the pack there. I can see that.
Oh, maybe that's what he does. Maybe he's like in all the racers in his race as aliens, and he's like targeting them, and he's like going, "Nope, you're not getting away from me," and he's just hunting them down.
So is he meaning aliens as in other races from other teams? Because that's how I would envisage it.
Well, for this purpose, yes, but his in
Yeah,
real life
yeah.
job
That's what we're going to
is
say.
yeah,
That's what we're going to say.
yeah. That's what we're gonna say. Against aliens, it's something he did a TTT with the Norwegian Viking the other day. He has some legs.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
yes, I love a TTT though. I'm quite addicted to
Are
TTT.
you can't get enough of TTTs, can you?
Yeah, I love them, and then I love whinging about them, and then I love complaining about them, and then and then I go
And then
back
you
for
do them again.
more. Yeah, I do. Yeah, but it's
All
so
right.
good.
So we can see that the men's there just on
Here we
the
go.
23-kilometer mark. So
Yeah.
they're just gonna. Well, hello. There's a little bit of push in
Norwegian
the front there.
Viking. He's off. He's off. He's like, right,
Yeah,
they're talking
there's
about
a bit of a
me.
breakaway happening there.
Yes. Dean is
Pushing-
he's put on his proper wheels now. Dean is
Pushing
hunting
off-
him down. Look at that. And I want to say Pavel's, not sure how you pronounce it in Belgium. But nice catch. That was good. Yep, I
Dean's in
approve
the
of
front
that.
there.
Yep, yeah. We can do all the shout-outs to Dean we like, because, yep. You go for it, Dean.
A little bit of push at the front there, and so they're about to wind up the first lap and head into the second lap. Now, this is going to be interesting
Where the
to watch.
sprint is.
This is the key sprint in lap 2. Now, it's only 100. When I say only, it's only 100 meters long, and it's one of the shortest, if not the shortest, sprint segment. There might be one that's shorter in France. I'm not too sure, but there's the shortest sprint segment in game. But I can assure you, these guys are going to start ramping this up much earlier than that. So let's keep an eye on the front there. I think we can see a little bit of Jocelyn. I've got Josh Harris in my mind, jostling for position there, because certainly there are some points up for grabs. And I was just looking earlier at who's leading this. Now, Nicky is actually leading the beast mode cream, beast mode cream. The points there in first with 4 points. So I think he's going to be quite keen to see if he can back that up. But the Norwegian Viking is definitely pushing off the front now. Really off.
Because I think the sprint is in a couple kilometers. So
yeah, it's not far.
I think it's 27.6.
20. Yeah, that's right. So certainly the pressure, the heat is going to start coming up. So now Brent's asking whether this is first across the line or fastest. It is first across the line. So this is where it's going to get really difficult. They're not going to hang back and look for a massive explosion of power. They're going to start pushing out early, see if they can break some of the elastic, holding them onto the grip. And so Josh is on the front there. We've got Mundell, LaRock as well. So Salibi, they're all pushing around. And you can see that front just up and down there. These guys are all keen.
Yeah, where is Nicky Hug? Is he racing today, Nicky?
Yeah, I'm just looking for his name. I can't see him there.
Is he sitting back in the draft and he's going to hit it? And
yeah, Nicholas Drycott's there in the front. But Najal is still just sitting, just propping himself there on second wheel, getting a little bit of draft, recovering just slightly. And I'm just trying to see some of his stats there. But certainly, doing a fantastic job. Just waiting for the pace to start increasing. Here we go.
Yeah,
now, hopefully we can keep it on this shot here, because we're 26 and a half. We've literally got about a kilometre to go here.
Yeah.
We're going to see some of these races really, the pain faces are going to start seeing some real pain faces coming up. But
everyone's going to be getting itchy and looking at each other and thinking, am I in the right position? The thing is, though, everybody will be thinking about positioning, because this is not mucking around. So we've got somebody off the front there, but we've got Norwegian Viking really going for it. Ooh.
Power's on. They're out of the saddles now, pushing hard. Look at that power numbers coming through the beacon there. Only 150 meters, pushing off the front. Oh gosh, orange numbers all the way through.
Because you have to sprint, even if you're not going to be. I think
I think
The Wahoo
Joel
rider.
or
Is it Van Eyck? Did he?
Van Erck may have picked that up.
Yeah, I think so. There's Zika. Is Zika going to go over the top? I do like their kit, the BL13 kit. The Josh Harris.
That
Yeah.
Big Rick, says Stuart from Wahoo Esports.
Stuart.
Big Rick.
In capitals too.
Rick,
yeah, the Dutch rider. Yeah. Yeah, capitals too, Stuart.
So certainly there was some real power going on there, and that's the hard thing. Like, for those that maybe are new to watching this and don't appreciate how much effort is required to race at this level, it is full on, flat out of the saddle, biting the bar tape as they push through these sprints, and certainly it's really difficult. And those numbers there, 11, 12, 13, 14 watts per kilo. After 27 Ks already at this pace, man, it's going to absolutely kill your legs and really leave you wondering what you're doing.
Yeah. You also have to sprint, even if you're not going to be top 3, you have to sprint because you will get dropped if you don't.
Yep,
So
exactly.
It's hard. We have got a bit of an attack going on here. Dricot and Fernandez from Spain. I wonder which team he... Oh, Fudra. But the thing is, they don't let them get off the front for very long. So Dricot is really putting in an effort.
Yeah, that's right. We've seen this in the men's. Like in race 2, it was a little bit different because of how I guess technically challenging the course was. It was the Duchy Estate. With that climb and then the quick descent, it always makes it a bit more challenging. But these flat routes, we've got like 3 or 4 riders at the front there. I think they're going to try and maybe group up and work together. We've got Talbot there. We've got Bishop, both sort of coming together and coming through. We've got Dricot as well. So maybe we're going to start to see a bit of a front group starting to form there. Hopefully they can organise themselves, start taking some turns, keep that speed up, because at the moment they are averaging 330 watts. 51 Ks an hour. So, if they're going to stay ahead of the group, no. Yeah. So the group chasing is currently sitting at about just on 300 watts. So, if they're going to keep that little gap that they've started to engineer happening, they've got to start working together, take those turns, keep pushing at the front. Otherwise, the group's going to get them back. And we can see at the moment, just looking down the list there, we can see a few of the riders chasing. The Norwegian Vikings there, he is chasing. I think Holt chasing as well. So certainly, I don't think they want to see a group, especially of 4 strong riders, get out the front there and get away too far, because it's going to make it really tough to get them back.
Yeah, I don't think they'll get very far, because there's a lot of strong guys in that group.
Yeah,
which can close the gaps. But here we go with David Talbot, Brian Bishop, the Alien Hunter, and Nicholas Dricot. I really like it though. Interesting facts. I just want to give a little shout out to Ryan Dummer. I do know he's got a lot of interesting facts, but I want to mention it on the next race, because I want to do some I want to do it properly, and there's he knows. I just wanted to say that Ryan, I am going to mention it, but on the next race. So it is really actually what he's doing for children with cycling, with children with special needs with cycling.
Oh, wow.
is outstanding.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is definitely. But I didn't have, because I've been on holiday and things, I didn't have time to get it all together. And I would mention what I know now, but actually I want to do it properly on the next race. So massive shout out to Ryan. And so that's a little clue. He does a lot for special needs children, and which
is
Ryan.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. So, and just
lot.
watching Talbot there move to the front there from Sarah. So again, I can see all aero setups there, and they've still got a nice little gap here. There's about 5 or 6 seconds they've opened up. It might be increasing slightly. I think the main group of 26 has sort of started to come back. They're sort of sitting just under 300 watts, about 45, kilometers an hour. That group of 4 at the front there is still sitting around that 330 watts mark. They're still sitting at about 49, 50 kilometers an hour. So they are pushing. They aren't letting they're trying to maintain that gap. So it's going to be great to see how they go, especially after they come through Nyokio. They might have dropped, or is there a rider trying to? There we go. The Norwegian Viking is trying to make a bridge across.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm just wondering if we can cut over to the ladies, because I'm not sure if they hit the hill or. Oh yes, they're on a little bit of a climb now. So I was just wondering if there'd be any attacks going on, or has he? Yes, well done, so Norwegian Viking, good job. That's really good.
All right. So looking at the ladies there, how are we shaping up?
So Maria Marb, who we're watching at the moment, she's really putting in a bit of a cake, as is Catherine Curie, Alicia Hag from Rose. So Maria and Alicia are both teammates, so they'll be on Discord working together, and because if discussing tactics and strategies and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit of a push up this hill. It's a bit draggy. It is still draftable, but you do have to put in, especially when they're doing 6 watts per kilo. That is not like you've got to put in your effort. Hitting orange numbers now from the Synergy rider.
There's not a lot of room to hide here, is there?
No, you have to keep going, and it's hard. It is so hard to hold on, because you think, Emilia Vuelta, Aber Synergy. I think it's difficult to know because all the kits seem to be green. So she's leading them up the hill, though. She is extremely strong, and they're all just hanging on the wheel, hoping for dear life that they don't get dropped. It's starting to string out a lot though now. So we've got I think we've got about 8 ladies in this little front group that are really pushing the pace.
Yep.
And then a group about 6 seconds back. Now will that group close it? I think so. Leah and Andy and Leah Sophie from Synergy, they're all pushing the pace with that group, trying to chase back on.
It'd
be interesting to
give you a sense. To give you a sense, as just like I was saying with the men's, the ladies from race 2, although Nicole is not in this race at the moment, she was averaging for the entire race in race 2 4.3 watts per kilo. So that's 244 watts. Her normalized power was 253. But Catherine Curie, who I think is in this race, did we see Catherine just a bit earlier on?
Yes, she is. Yes.
Yeah, so she was averaging, and she's my favorite, she was averaging 3.5 watts per kilo, 208, 232 normalized for race 2. So it gives you a sense of the kind of power these ladies are putting out, which is just outrageous. Like, it's really phenomenal. And these are why this is why these are the best races in the world. There's no question about that.
Yeah. It's interesting to see what this group will now do, because they will know that the group behind is about 4 seconds. Mm-hmm. And usually what happens in ladies' races is it eases up really on the flats, and everybody kind of just drafts each other. But will this group here want to be pushing the pace? Because I think they're going to close, because you've got Richardson. I know that Leah was pushing the pace. Maria Thompson. Also, if you have, I think they've closed it anyways. Yeah. I see, if I was in this and we'd caught and I wasn't completely wasted, I'd just attack over the top. Just for
a bit of fun.
Yeah. Well, why not? Like, it depends how like dead I feel, though. I just give away race tactics there, but whatever. Like,
it's exactly like that, though, isn't it? It's like, for some reason there's this mixed sense of competitiveness that I get. When you're already full gas on the limit, and then you go, well, you know what? I'm actually going to push off the front and see what happens, just to see who else goes, because you never know. There might be a couple of other racers who have the same idea, and they're just looking for someone else to go. And if you can form a group of 3 or 4 or 5, it's surprising how many other in the group who are going, I am completely gassed. I can't. If someone goes here, I'm done. So it can really open the race up, and you don't know until you give it a go.
Exactly. You don't know, and it might work, it may not. But
Yeah.
if you're see, I do race elite, but I openly say that I am not the best. But if you kind of have like not a lot to lose, well, not a lot. That's the wrong phrase, but if you know you're not going to win, for example, then you can try different tactics and things. And
Yeah.
actually, do you know
Exactly.
what? Scrub that. Even if you know that you can win something, what's to stop you just trying a tactic anyway? Because
Yeah.
it makes it much more interesting and fun. And I think we've actually got Sarah Bishop in the chasing group behind. I think she's putting in a bit of a. Oh no, it was her husband, I think, because that's the men's. Yeah, apologies. Yeah, they're putting in a bit of a.
Well, if we jump back to the men's there, I can see that group of 5 now have opened up that gap to 30 seconds.
Yes. So see, that's what happened in the ladies, but then they don't really. Yeah,
they don't keep it going.
No, and it's like, but then whose job is it to keep it going? If you've got a group of about 8 ladies, I think that's 8 or 9 ladies in a group, and you have teammates. It's even harder if you've got teammates in the group behind who are trying to, and if you've got one of your teammates who is quite help the leaderboard, like in the top 10 in the leaderboard, in the chasing group, it's more tactical to let them catch, like this is questions, so it's interesting. Whereas the guys, they're just like, nah, we're off.
Yeah. And I was just seeing a comment there flash up, which you don't get to see because I'm in the pens there. Well, I'm in watching the races, fan viewing. But Najal there, the Norwegian Viking, is giving a little bit of a nudge to Fernandez, saying, "Hey, buddy, take your turn on the front." So it looks like he's trying to marshal the troops here in that front 5 group and get them all to take turns, keep that gap going. Now they're at the 32 seconds now. So we're in that front group. We've got Dreycott, Talbot, Fernandez, Bishop, and Najal. So certainly it looks as if at the 37-kilometer mark out of this 50-kilometer race, we've only got about 13 kilometers to go. It looks as if this is the group that we're watching to cross the line first. This is going to be very interesting. Now, I'm just looking down. Pettinger, Niall Batty, Salibi, Santo. So I can see that their power numbers are upping a little bit. 7.6, 7.3, 6.5. But it doesn't look as if they're trying to make an active bridge across to the front group or even to try and reduce that number down before the finish of the race. So I think this group we're watching here on screen at the moment, this is the one we're going to be watching. And my money is on Najal there. I think he's got some fresh legs, although he did an event last week which allowed him to, prevented him, that's the word I'm looking for, from being in race 2. Certainly, I think in race 3, he is keen to get back and stamp his authority on this race.
Yeah, he is. I love watching these and with how the gaps were. I was just reading the comments actually, and RT says, right mix in the front group, it might just stick. And I think that's part of it. Like breakaways can work, but you have to do your part in the breakaway. If you were in the breakaway, you have to do a pull and do some work to make it stick. So if there's like, a group of 8 or 9 and 5 of them are not doing pulls, they're just sitting in, then that's probably why I can close gaps in the elite race.
Well, and maybe that's right. Maybe the fact that you've got that power to bridge gaps, and there isn't someone on the front marshalling the troops, getting everyone to take turns, even if they're only just rolling off the front. So even if they're just taking a little 5-second turn off the front, rolling through, if you don't have that happening, then it's easy to get them back. But in this case, it looks as if Najal has really got the guys working together. On the front, I can see he's doing 6.4 watts per kilo to keep that pace up. They are averaging 46 kilometers an hour. They're doing 342 watts, that front group of 5, whereas the chasing group, they're still got, they're still 49 k's an hour. They're only doing 260. So that gives you a sense of the difference in terms of the power the front group's doing versus the chasing peloton.
Yeah, the ladies, I'm just going to, the ladies are coming up to their sprint. So
oh, yep.
It's about 200 to 300 meters off. So this will be interesting. So everybody's getting into position. This would be really interesting to see. I can see Leah and Randy, who are my teammates. So obviously I'm rooting for them, but also all the other ladies. Like, we're kind of all in this together at the same kind of time as having teams. So you can see the ladies there really focusing. We have got
Game faces.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Amelia Velta is on orange number 7. She looks like she's out for a Sunday stroll. Wow,
There we go.
Amelia! It is first across the line, top 3, don't forget. So we've got Amelia 1 second off. This will be really interesting to see.
Wow,
so she's
some
got
big
a gap
power
of
numbers
about,
there.
Yeah, so Sarah Roach is kicking it. Randy is an outstanding sprinter.
Randy's out of the saddle.
Yeah.
Leah as well. Leah Sophie's out of the saddle. Sarah's out of the saddle. They've overcome Amelia. Who's in the front there? Oh, that's massive power there.
Yes.
Randy's through for second. Oh.
So Randy is... Close. Oh my gosh. That was outstanding. Randy is new to Elite Racing, so this is her first series. Well, we were doing Zwift Games, but not Zwift Games. What is it? Zwift World Series, but that was postponed. So, this is kind of Randy's like first introduction to Elite Racing, and
to proper Elite Racing.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell whether she got second or third on that sprint segment there.
Yeah, that was too close. I think it was right on the line there as well. But having watched Randy's streams there, I'm sure that she was verbalizing that pain.
Well, she does stream, as does Holden. There are several ladies in this race and guys who stream their races on Twitch, and Randy streams hers. Randy races bikes on Twitch, and Holden also streams. I've forgotten what his Twitch handle is. I've forgotten who else streams. I'm so sorry, but there are a lot of Twitchers in these races, and that's really good because it builds up the community and it just helps. And I know that when you are racing and there's like comments on the screen, it just helps you so much. So if you do ever watch Twitch races, don't underestimate how much you help.
Exactly, yep, and cheering people on. Just on that though, if you do know people that of the ladies that are on screen and the gents as well, if you do know that what their YouTube channels or their Twitch channels are, drop them in the comments so others can come along and watch. And while you're at it, just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and leave us a comment too. Let us know if you've been watching the racing series, or if anyone else has been watching it. Share this link with them. Share the stream with them. That'd be fantastic. So just looking at the men's now. So just across the men's, we've got just under 8 kilometers to go, and that group of 5 has opened up a gap of 50 seconds now. So they have not let off the gas whatsoever.
Yeah, 50
they
seconds.
Have been absolutely smashing that.
Yeah, we've got the alien hunter there. You see, is it David Talbot? Norwegian Viking, Fernandez.
So we've got the Alien Hunter, the Norwegian Viking. If anyone else has got any nicknames that we can attribute to Drykot, to Talbot, to Fernandez,
in the
comments, we would love them.
Yeah, I want to know nicknames. What can we call them?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to go on a limb and say Fernandez. Is that Fernandez Simon? I can see in the description there. I'm going to go out and link and call him the bullfighter.
Oh yes, we could. Yes, I've been to Spain actually this week. Did I mention that?
No, of course not. From France to Spain, as you do.
Yeah. Just somebody asked me, "What are you doing today?" And I said, "Just going to Spain for the day."
Yeah. Yeah. We went and saw family for Christmas, or just after Christmas, and we drove for like 3 or 4 hours, and we didn't leave the state that I live in.
See, that's bonkers. But do you know how much effort it took me to leave Yorkshire? I had to leave fellow Zwifters in charge of Yorkshire, and they did a great job of looking after the place.
Oh, that's good. Didn't burn down?
Didn't burn down, no. And the Yorkshire
That's always a
Swift
good
is
thing.
still there, and yeah. Although I think some of these races, I think they left their legs in Yorkshire this week. Not these guys, but they must have been back and collected them.
Looking at the average power there, the front group here of the men's, the 5 that are in the front group are still averaging close to 300 watts here. So they are still pumping the power at 47 kilometers an hour. They have not let up for a second. Now they're about to start hitting that climb coming up towards the finish. So this is going to be interesting. Now we're going to watch this really closely because I suspect there's going to be some breakaway attempts here. I think that there's a couple of riders here that have been trying to gauge the tiredness of the riders here, their legs, how they're feeling. And I suspect we're going to probably see some breakaways. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that maybe Jarl, the Norwegian Viking, is going to probably try and push this front. I get the sense that he's quietly sitting here, getting everyone to take turns, so he's not sort of, under the pump too much. And I think now as they start to reach up here, 1%, 2%, 3%, there's going to be a bit of a press. So let's see what happens here. But certainly I expect there's going to be a bit of moving going on as they climb.
Yeah, the Norwegian Viking, you can see him on screen there. He's just it's just awesome that is he even sweating? Like
Yeah, no, it looks like he's taking it real easy. But Nicholas as well, Nicholas Dreycott, Brian there. Brian's out of the saddle, but he doesn't look too worried just at the moment. And David Talbot there too. So still focused, still got the game faces on, still watching the other riders. And this is the thing, isn't it? You would be absolutely watching those numbers as closely as possible, wouldn't you? You'd be looking to see if there's any kicks, making sure that gap in the front there. And we can see Bishop just on the front there. That doesn't open up too much further because you don't want to spend any more effort or power than is absolutely necessary to stay in touch before you absolutely have to go.
I was just trying to work out if any of them are teammates. Dave Talbot, which team is he for? I can't remember. Are any of them teammates in that front group? Because you'd be watching that. I don't think they are. I think they're all from... I think Fernandez is from individuals, Fudra. Dave, I want to say who, but
Jarl's from RWB.
Yes, he is. Yeah, I could just look at the team kits. That would be a wise thing to do, wouldn't it? Oh my gosh! All
right, we've got just under 5 kilometers to go now. We're just on 5 kilometers now. It's interesting because I've been reviewing the Norwegian Viking here, and his Weibel has crept back up to 18 out of 20. So
he's taking it easy. He's recharging.
He's fully
his battery.
charged. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Fernandez is sitting at about. I was going to say Fernandez is at 5.7. Dreycott there, and I might be giving a little bit of inside information away here. Drycott's sitting okay too at 17. Dave Talbot, he's where is he? Yeah, he's sitting at about 13. But I reckon that Najal, the Norwegian Viking, is going to be the one that's going to press this pace.
They're going now. I hit in orange numbers now. Look at that.
Yeah. So we're still 4 kilometers to go. Opening up the gap now. Talbot, this is where it's going to start happening.
Yes. David Talbot.
Orange numbers out of the saddle.
Saris
Nicholas there, look at that face.
Yeah, he's really.
Here we go.
It.
Yep. So they are pressing now. Still got 4 kilometers out of this, and 4 kilometers doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot when your legs are screaming, and that's exactly what I expect is happening here. So they haven't missed it. They haven't dropped anyone. Oh, hang on, Bishop. Yeah, they've dropped David. So Brian Bishop's been dropped.
Yeah, he's from Relentless. I got all the teams wrong. Brian Bishop is from Relentless. Dave Talbot is Saris. Yeah, apologies, guys.
So Brian there is 27 meters off.
He's not giving up though. He's out the saddle. He's really pushing it. His heart rate's
punching.
Insane, 182. Push it round this corner. Do you think he can get back on? I think so.
So Najal is he's averaging for his 5-minute power is at 5 watts per kilo.
It's just insane, isn't it? Like,
That
wow,
just blows my head.
And also, I like the fact that we can all like compare. Well, you know, whatever category you're in, you can compare yourself. Well,
what you think?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I say the word compare, and a little voice in my head says, "Holly, comparison is the thief of joy."
No. Yeah, you can't let yourself get into that hole, can you?
Yeah. It's just because the numbers, we all have our watts per kilo, we all have the watts, we know what it takes. But then also it's kind of good in a weird way to compare because you know just how strong these guys really are.
Yep.
You know?
Well, we can see a bit of a breakaway attempt here. So Najal is actually pushing off the front at 7.7 watts per kilo. He's opened up a 2-second gap over Talbot, Drykot, Fernandez, and Bishop. So
I think
it
he
looks
can hold
like
it
he was
as
the man to
well.
watch.
Yeah.
Well, he's just emptied the tank for that last little, 60-second, 90-second effort. He's absolutely emptied the tank.
He's still going. He's out the saddle and still going. And I love to see the effort that these guys put in, especially the videos. Honestly, to everybody that has joined the videos, thank you, because
he's opened up an 8-second gap now. So
wow.
he's recognised this is where to make that attack. He's done it. He's capitalised. He's opened up a 9-second gap now. He's pushing 403 watts. He's at 52 kilometers an hour. He is absolutely giving it everything he's got. Look at that open up. And I would like to have thought that a few other riders in this front group. I was hoping that Josh would be there as well, but Val has absolutely owned this second half of the race. After that bridge coming out of Neokio, where he got back onto that front four, he marshaled them, he got them going, he got them taking turns, and now after 45, 46, 47 kilometers, he's now said, no, that's it. I got what I wanted, and now I'm going. So this is where it's all going to happen. He is really dropping everything he has here. It looks like he's doing it quite easily in the saddle, but everyone who's done this before you can be assured that he is absolutely almost completely gassed. And he's riding against some of the best racers in the world, so they aren't giving this up easily.
No, there's no giving up at all. You can see Brian and Dave and Nicholas all still trying to fight for this.
Rodrigo Fernandez, thank you. Yep, Nicholas Drykot, David Talbot as well there, and Brian. So all red numbers. I can see across the board there, all red numbers, but he's opened up 14 seconds now. So he's just got under 1.1 kilometers to go to the finish. I suspect he can hold on to this. I don't know, like Nicholas and Rodrigo have to be searching. They'd have to be looking for another gear to try and find in this last 1,000 meters to try and dent any kind of gap that he's opened up. But I don't think they can find it. It's 17 seconds now.
No, that's not.
Absolutely stomped this.
There's less than a kilometre to go, and it's 17 seconds. Yeah. He just needs to hold on to his position now.
Yep.
It's positions 2, 3, and 4, and possibly 5. Like the Alien Hunter is not giving up. Like that is 3 seconds, and Drykot, Fernandez, and David, they have kind of. I'm going to say they have kind of eased a little bit because they are fighting it out for a sprint finish. So I think I think
they're looking for
Brian's
their positions.
Close it. Yeah. So they've eased up and he can see them. So here we go. Last 300 meters.
He's 150 meters, 110. So he's got this in the bag. Well done. Congratulations. Bring it home. What a fantastic win.
To do 2 watts per kilo over the finish line. Must feel so good.
Effort.
Wow. Well
the best
done.
part of the race.
Yeah. So they can see the finish line banner. Look at them going. Wow.
That is awesome. But here we go. Out of the saddle. Fernandez in the front there. Can he do it? Ahead of Talbot, but Drykot's coming in though. Very close. Power numbers 12, 13, 14. Oh, Fernandez. I think Talbot and Bishop. Tricot.
I think the bullfighter was second. Fernandez.
Bullfighter.
I think so.
Awesome. That was
So
fantastic racing. Like literally the power that's required is just, it blows my mind. There's no way I'm ever going to have that power.
Well,
Now,
it's
I'm not an elite
world
racer,
class,
but certainly
isn't it?
these are the best racers in the world. And it's really, it's just fantastic to watch these guys. And now we can see the rest of the races coming through. So we've got
2 races here. Yeah, so I think Pavels from Belgium has got. Yes, he's kicking. Yep. I think he did. I was about to say he's got his position perfect, and he kicked.
Here we go, out of the saddle there.
I don't think he's gonna get caught. I think Pavels from Belgium has
he's got
Portuguese guy. Yep. And we've got Jay.
He's out of the saddle. Can he push it though?
Come on, Ike.
It's gonna be close.
Nice work. Oof, that was a bit of a bunch finish.
Honda's going to get taken. Oh, that was a big group coming through. Harris there in the mix. But that's a fantastic win to Najal there, the Norwegian Viking. So congratulations. That was, I think he just knew exactly what he had to do in that race, and he did it almost perfectly. From bridging that gap to riding with, to organising that front 5. And then to launch an attack 5 kilometers out was just, that's just textbook racing.
Yeah. Just watching Eleanor Wiseman, I think her name is Eleanor. She's got a 2-second lead. I think she's trying to break away, I reckon.
Yeah. Yep.
She races for Saris Esports. So her teammates will be, sitting on wheels. It's not up to Saris to close the gap, obviously, because you don't chase teammates. So who out of that
so they'll be sitting
group,
back.
Yeah. So who out of that chasing group is going to try and close? Because you've got.
Well, you'd expect maybe Avis to try and work together there, or Rose. Maybe step up.
Yeah, because they've got quite a lot of teammates in the group. So if they work together, they could close it. Oh, we've got Sarah Roach from Synergy. We just said it, and then
here we go. I can see just at the back there. There's from Abus. So who's that working off the front there to try and maybe close that gap down?
Sarah Roach. She is a strong racer. She has got somewhat. So,
okay. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Kathleen Carey right on her wheel.
Mm.
So and then Leah Cuthbertson from Restart. She's not letting them go. Yeah. So this is good. So you've got Abus and Next and Restart working together to try and bring
to get Eleanor back, and I think they've done it too. But you can see Eleanor really digging deep there. Shoulders were swaying. She was really focused and trying to get as much out of those legs as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
If she hasn't realised, she will realise in a second that the group have got her back. So
yeah, she made it work though. I love it.
Yeah, she did. But that was maybe a match she didn't have to burn. And that's an interesting thing, is like, do you back yourself, as you say, Holly? You back yourself and try and go out, and maybe you don't have the power, maybe you don't have the endurance in the legs to do that, or do you sit in the pack and wait for someone else and then try and chase them down?
Yeah, sometimes it is tricky to know. If you have more teammates in the group, remember there's only 21 racers. There's 21 ladies.
And the ladies,
in this group, and in the front group there's 13. So if you've got teammates in the front group, do you look to each other? It's also who is feeling strong, because
on the day, that's exactly right. And we know from race 2, for example, like Randy did a race about an hour before she joined in this race. So
she did.
A lot of the ladies have other commitments, so they're trying to do the best they can to get into these events, to support them. And knowing that you've already done a race, or you've done a workout, or maybe an in real life race, then to come in and do this is just fantastic. But it just kills the legs, like it saps the energy you got. So you're right. It could be, how you're feeling on the day is a tough one.
Yeah, it is. And we all have life. We all have, like Leah, Sophie, she's a dentist, and everyone has jobs and things, and we have to fit this in and around our kids, our lives. It's January the 4th. What date is it? January the 4th,
Sure,
I
why
think.
not?
Yeah, I don't know what date it is, but yeah. And everyone's just had Christmas and New Year, and some people have maybe not been on the bike as much, not training as much as what they maybe normally do, if they've
Correct.
been away
Yeah.
and things, so it's not just a case of everyone just trains all the time for these.
Yeah.
And Eleanor's going again though.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I'm off. This is I've had my little break, I've had a drink, now I'm gonna kick it and get us a sponsor time for Sarah's Esports.
We've got someone else at the front there. Is that Jen Real?
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, so she's at the front. Jennifer Real, there we go.
So
she's opened up a 3-second gap.
So I thought Eleanor Wiseman was Surrey's as well. Is Wiseman from Surrey's? I'm sure she is. So they're trying to bridge. So,
So that group is starting to splinter. We've got a couple of Bluetrons, which I know you'll like to see coming through the front there.
I'm not sure it was the right choice for this race though. You'd have gone full aero.
Oh, look, at
Leah Sophie.
the end of the day,
she's attacked
we're
over
only
the top.
14 seconds, so I don't think it'll make too much of a difference. But certainly that group is starting to stretch, and that's telling because I think you've got a few riders in that racing group who are just hanging on by the skin of their fingernails. So this is going to be interesting to see how it plays out, especially as we start to head into that climbing section. When we go back into the countryside, there's going to be some ladies there that I think that just can't hold on. So certainly there's going to be some real digging of gnashing of teeth, digging in here. But then just watching as they group back up again, we've still got that 13 races in this front group here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there's certainly 13. A few ladies here that are really digging deep.
Yeah, just watching them all. Is anybody else going to attack over the top? I can see Eleanor and Jen is some Sarries. Yeah, the Sarries ladies are definitely drafting the others. Wonder if they're planning to go for another attack.
So do you think that's the case there? Do you think some of the teammates there are communicating on Discord or some sort of chat channel?
Yeah, definitely
an attack. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it will depend on how each other are feeling and things. So, because this is a 50-kilometer race and they're already an hour in, so this is a long race by Zwift standards. So you'll be sitting in, you'll be thinking, is somebody else going to attack? Shall I attack? Shall we attack together?
Yep.
It is really good
like
to see.
I was going to say, like I was saying, especially at this stage of the race where you've only got 7-8 kilometers left. There's only so many matches you've got in the pack, and you really want to spend them with as much thought as possible. And as you say, it could be the case that you go long now, and knowing that some of the ladies there are just hanging on by whatever means they can, or it might be that you go, okay, I've got a couple of matches in my back pocket. If someone goes, I'm going to be able to shut that gap down really quickly or go with them. So it's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, for sure. It is really good to see Randy and Leah also still in the front group. Obviously,
Eleanor was out of the saddle there.
Oh yeah, she in a gel or something. Yeah, it's also nutrition. Actually, we should just briefly discuss that because such a long race, you have to think about nutrition. What do you eat before? Do you eat close to the? Well, I don't eat close to the race. Depending on the time of day it is for these ladies. Do you? What do you have for breakfast? What do you have during the race? What do you have in your bottles? Do you have a gel? What time? At what point do you have a gel? And all the things.
Well, I was going to ask that actually. So Do you have a time schedule for when you take on certain, gels, or when you might take a drink? Do you have a particular point in the race where you go, okay, at 10 kilometers to go, I'm going to have this, or at 5 kilometers to go, I'm going to quickly have a gel, and that will set me up for the sprint?
Well, it's interesting actually, because I do have like gels and stuff on my like desk. I always try to have like if I'm racing this long, 2 bottles of water with like electrolytes in it, and then I wouldn't eat like within like an hour and a half of the start race. I think this is quite common as well, like for all races. So, because it's just, you need to settle in your stomach and things. You don't want to be, and then
have a full stomach.
Well, yeah, and like a gel with caffeine in it. Maybe like 15 minutes before the race starts. It depends on the start of the race as well. Like if it's a flat kind of start, then I'll have it like closer. It depends where is the climb in the race. Take it about half an hour before that. But then during the race, I'd have a gel, but never like on near a segment, never on a climb. I would, if there's a downhill, go for the downhill, because when you're taking a gel, you're not really focusing on the race. So if somebody attacks, you're like, oh, put down the gel, pedal a bit faster. It's a bit of a faff.
Yep.
So you kind of need to sort of look at what's happening in the race and judge that.
Stuart from Esports, from My Who Esports, is saying that caffeine pills and maple syrup is the GOAT.
Oh, so maple syrup.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I definitely, I have caffeine. Yeah, caffeine. Well, I don't have caffeine pills, but I have it in like my gels. But maple syrup though, like, what's with the maple syrup?
You're saying a giant bottle, so no mess to clean up.
Just like down it, down a whole bottle of maple syrup.
That's it.
Stuart, how much maple syrup are we talking? The whole bottle, or much cheaper? Are you from Yorkshire too, Stuart?
Just glugging it down. I can just imagine the taste in my mouth like that, just that tackiness, that blah, 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 as you're trying to get it in. But I don't know how true that is. So, but I do appreciate the idea, Stuart. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
maple syrup. Just getting a teaspoon out and having that as you go into a sprint.
So we need some Canadians to send me some maple syrup. Oh, this could work out well, couldn't it? Right. So if you're Canadian, right, I want you to send me some maple syrup, and then I'll race and tell you if it works or not.
Okay,
research purposes, you see.
Stuart's saying straight from the bottle. He's got a 2-litre bottle that lasts about a month. Just glugs it straight down.
Refillable flask, not expensive at all. Works perfect. Is that what you do?
All right. So the ladies have just on 5 kilometers to go here.
Yeah, a bit of a punch.
So they've started. Yeah, they've started they're into this climbing section here. So this is where we saw the breakaway happen with the men's. Let's see what happens here. So Wiseman's in the front. We've got Haig there as well.
No, it's just an easy no, not easy, but like I did see a couple of orange numbers, but I think they're taking it easier than what they would do. Just sort of sticking together and because this is quite a large group. Because I think the men's, they had like 5, didn't they? At this
that's
point.
right. Yeah.
So that's more likely to work. Whereas a bunch of, is it 13 ladies in this bunch? I think that's less likely to work. You could drop maybe
so you got
odd one, but like I don't think anyone's getting dropped out of this group. To be honest, they're all strong.
So do you think they're going to sit in and wait for that 1,000 meters, 800 meters to start to ramp up for the sprint? Do you think?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yep. So we're just on 5 kilometers here. So Eleanor Velter there just in the front, Catherine Curie as well. So we can see Leah Sophie there out of the saddle. Actually, Randy's out of the saddle. Jennifer is out of the saddle, Eleanor as well. So certainly pushing very hard as they come up this little pinch. And gosh, the pain coming through the legs at the moment would be astronomical. Like that, just the effort they've got to keep this pace up. They're at 27, 26, 28 kilometers an hour coming through this little climb. Oh man, after 45 kilometers of racing at this level is just fantastic.
It burns. Yeah. And yeah, see, nobody got dropped. I'm just checking. There's nobody dropped out of that group. Yeah, see, at this point, all the ladies in this group can hold on because there's enough draft and things. It would maybe like spread out, but they would just chase. And I don't think anyone really wants to burn them out for 2 now and then have nothing after the finish. So
yeah. JD is saying that he's thinking that Synergy have got some numbers there that maybe they might start coordinating, a strategy. And here we go. We've got some orange numbers going on.
Yeah,
just as we said that.
Yeah, from Leah Sophie. So so cycling for 2 years she has been. So she's yeah, absolutely. So this is interesting because I know that Synergy are very kind of tactical. They do have strategies and things in place. So I think Leah Sophie is possibly maybe like sacrificing herself to like lead it out, and then one of the other Synergy ladies would possibly attack over the top. I don't know. I'm just guessing here, but
bit of a lead out here.
Yeah.
So certainly there's a couple of Synergies on the front.
Yeah, the other ladies will. We've got Catherine Curie,
Amelia Velter there on the front. Yeah, they aren't letting them go easily, that's for sure. But that group is stretching out now. That elastic is going to break really soon, I would think.
Yes, we've got Amelia Velter. She's from Synergy too. See, so was Leah Sophie pushing the pace a bit, and then Amelia's pushed
opened
over
up the door for Amelia. Yeah, opened up the door for Amelia.
Yep.
And now she is going with just under 4 kilometers left. I think we're going to see some big numbers coming up, but they aren't letting go easily. You can see that group, even though it's starting to stretch out, that can come back together quite quickly as they come over the top of this little climbing section. But you don't think so?
Well, you have to have people around you that are also chasing, and if you're in Synergy and you've got Synergy do have the most teammates, I think, in this front group. So you're not going to be. You don't chase teammates. So Christian Schneider. So I used to race with her, not at Synergy, but with another team. So she is a really great teammate.
Yeah.
So is she in the front group? Yes, she is. Yes, so she's just sitting on the wheels, letting Maria from Rose.
Maria Marb there.
Yeah, and Amelia Velter is off the front by 3 seconds. But
Amelia is 3 seconds off the front there.
Yep. And Catherine Curie, she's from next. Yeah, so she's can
she hold on though?
Sitting on the wheels. See, you've even got the ladies chasing.
And as I say, this is really similar to the men's too, where we saw the Norwegian Viking open up that gap, not 4 or 5 kilometers out in the men's case, but 3 kilometers out in the women's case. And we can see here that Velter has really, opened that gap up now. It's out to 4 seconds. That's going to be a hard gap to shut down, you would have to think.
Yes, it absolutely is, because one of those ladies in the chasing group is not going to chase because they're in the same team. Yep. So I'm just trying to look. See, so you got Hard Rose next and Synergy and 3. Sorry, so I'm just trying to look. So you've got Amelia Hag, Rose, and then you've got 1, 2, 3 Synergy teammates.
Yeah,
they
are going to do.
I'm trying to sort of check 4. I think actually 4 Synergy teammates. So they are not going to be chasing because you don't chase teammates. So it's going to be down to the others in that group. So maybe Hag from Rose or.
But you'd have to think that the other teammates in that chasing group are not going to take the front whatsoever. So whoever's in that chasing group, they're going to have to do all that work themselves. Yeah. And you'd have to think at this point in the race that there's just no incentive to do that. I think they're going to try and sit in and set themselves up for the sprint as best they can. Brian in the chat saying, "Yep, she's gone. She's got this one locked down."
I agree. Yeah, because she's not going to have teammates and
and you can see that in the camera as well. She's out of the saddle. She's actively pushing and trying to maintain that gap, and that's fantastic. And like you've experienced this, that when you've got it in the bag, you find you find that energy, you find those extra watts, and it's amazing how you feel knowing that the race is almost done and you've got it won.
Yeah, it's hers to lose. Like, she's less, so just 1.5 kilometers to go. So she just has to maintain that gap.
Yep.
She can down the line, knowing that you've got teammates that are not going to chase you. It's down to next, Rose and restart, actually, because Gina's in there too. Not Gina, Randy. It's because their name is. Sorry, Randy. Yeah.
All right, so Amelia's...
if you are one of those non-synergy ladies in that front group, you don't want to be burning matches.
No.
You're going to be sitting
now that's going to be the difficult thing in that chasing grip, because there are other teammates from Amelia there. Now they're going to be thinking, okay, so how do I position myself so I can try and get a great result? Because second, third, fourth, all up for grabs here as they come across the line. But Amelia, for certain, has got this line locked up. We've got just under 1,000 meters to go. She is out of the saddle. She is not giving up whatsoever.
Yeah, she's just looking at her watts there. She's doing about 280 watts there. That's she's out of the saddle now. So how far has she got? About five. Can't seem to do maths today.
500 meters, 400 meters to go.
But she can see the finish line now. It's 300 meters
now.
Yeah.
And she's got that little burst of speed, 5 watts per kilo, 4.9, 4.7. This is, for anyone who races, this is the best part of a race. You can see the finish line. It's she's going to absolutely take this one with a scruff of the neck, and she has this one in the bag, done, sealed, putting in the post. It's sent.
Awesome.
There we go. Congratulations,
So here we go
Amelia.
with the bunch sprint, and wow, orange numbers already.
Oh, look at that! Power numbers.
Wow, Catherine Curie
on the front. Gina is just behind her. Will she get it? Randy. Yep.
I think Randy was third or fourth.
I think she just got fourth.
I think possibly, yeah. But wow. And the other ladies too. I was watching everybody put
So Sarah there, just watching Sarah come across.
Unbiased commentary, but Randy's my friend, as is Leah, so I'm open to bribes. I keep telling people this. If you want to bribe me with Haribo's or maple syrup or something,
apparently maple syrup is the trick.
Yeah.
So get some of that. Get a nice 2-liter tank. But we've got Sarah here and Cabot.
Yes.
Who is
Morgan Cabot?
Morgan,
she
thank
races
you.
for next. Yeah, Morgan Cabot. Yeah, she races for next. So Sarah Olim and Morgan Cabot, they're the next two races. The next two ladies to come over the line.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I love watching just these little mini races that you see, further back in the pack, where you've got 2 or 3 or 4 riders. And, the race is still very much on for them, even if it's just finishing points.
Oh, absolutely. Because every lady in this race gets finishing points. So, Sarah and Morgan's positions in a couple of minutes will matter for their team, because you've got Sarah from Synergy and Morgan from Next. So every point kind of matters. Sarah Olim is doing a bit of a kick off the front there. I wonder if she's trying to, because Morgan does have a really strong sprint, so maybe Sarah might know this and try to drop her before the finish line, so she doesn't have to sprint finish. So, which I think she's done it.
Sarah there.
Yeah, Morgan. Is she going to answer to it? I don't think.
It doesn't appear that way, does it?
She's got 2 seconds.
No, Morgan's actually well back. Sorry.
Wait.
For my numbers to update on my screen there.
Yeah, mine too. It said on my screen Sarah and Morgan were together. It's not, is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so it's Sarah Bishop
and Sarah Olim. Yep.
Right. Okay. Yep. That is not what Swift was telling me. So all right. So Bishop has has
And
she's taken it to
Brian's
the
in the
line
chat
5 seconds.
cheering her on as well. So
Yeah, nice.
there we go. Cross the line. It's still great power numbers. 4.1
so many
watts per kilo.
Sarahs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Morgan. I did wonder why Morgan wasn't putting in more of an effort because.
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
Sense.
I'm thinking, oh,
yeah.
she's really coasting there.
Yeah. But now we know why. So because she was on her own anyway, so that's fine.
Thanks,
No
Swift.
Man's Land. Yeah, thanks, Swift. Yeah, but yeah. So Morgan, no Man's Land is a hard place to be because.
Isn't it?
If you can't face the front group, do you wait for somebody that's behind?
Yeah.
But if there's nobody near you, you just have to keep going. And
Yeah. Do you back it off? Do you?
Yeah.
Do you try?
Do
Yeah. Do you keep pushing? Yep.
Mm.
It's such a and I've faced that in lots of different races where, as you say, you find yourself, you may be 2 or 3 kilometers off a group in front of you, you're 2 or 3 kilometers from the group behind you. Do you try and bridge that gap and burn a whole bunch of energy, or do you try and think you're playing it smart and back it off, but then you're fighting for a finish with a group of say 5 or 6 or 7 that are coming up behind you? So it's like, whoa. How are you feeling? What's the course like? Have you got some climbing to do? Is there a sprint finish? What's the story? So certainly a difficult one.
Yeah, it is. And it's mentally hard as well because if you do end up in No Man's Land and finish the race in No Man's Land, it is. I mean, you do keep going because it's a race, but it is tough because you're on your own. There's no draft. Whatever watts you do, that's the speed you're going. There's no kind of free drafting to recover or anything. You've just got to get yourself there. So we're just watching Morgan come over the line. Oh no, she's got a kilometre to go. She's coming over the bridge, and then she'll be relieved to get over the line.
And look, this is tough racing. This is not easy stuff. As I said, we're watching some of the best races in the world here. This is tough work, and at 50 kilometers for a race, and we said earlier on, it's the shortest of the 6 race series. This is 6 races. All of the races are insanely difficult, especially when you're fighting against this kind of competition.
Yes, all of that, all of it. Yeah, but men and women would keep showing up. There can't be a race unless people show up. So
well, that's it, and you got to have someone across the line first, and then there's others that cross the line afterwards, and that's always the case. But we've seen in the last 2 races where Nicole has just absolutely demolished the race, and from early on too. So it's fantastic to watch some of these other ladies get a chance to to get out in front, try and push that front, try and work some tactics, put their strategies in place. Because Nicole is so strong, it's been an interesting dynamic now, given that they've not had someone so far out the front.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see what happens to the team standings after this race, because next we're top of the leaderboard. There's Morgan just finishing
Crossing
her race.
the line there. Congratulations.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see what happens. It'd be a bit of a shake-up to the leaderboard.
To the standings, exactly. Yep, for sure. So there we go. That's race 3, Wandering Flats, and I tell you what, that has been some spectacular racing. My hats off to the racers. The Norwegian Viking there really I think he had that planned almost to perfection as it came across, 4-5 kilometers out, completely stomped that. And in the ladies as well, that was just phenomenal. And I think I love seeing that team aspect in the ladies, where I think was a synergy, came together and really started working to put Veltman on the front.
Yeah, absolutely. So the men's results. Do you want to do the men's and I'll do the women's?
Yep. So we've got Rick there in 10th, Ika there in 9th, Josh Power in 8th. David Pacheco in 7th, Anthony Powell's in 6th, Brian Bishop there. Congratulations, Brian's in the chat. Say hi to him in 5th. Nicholas Dreycutt there in fourth, David Talbot in third, Rodrigo Fernandez in second, and of course the Norwegian Viking in first.
Nice work. Look at that. Well, that's an outstanding top 10.
That's just there's some real, as I said, I keep saying it, but these are some of the best races in the world in esports. It's just fantastic to watch it.
Absolutely, yeah. And I do know, Ika, he needs a, we're just waiting for the women's update, yeah. Ika, he needs a Basque flag on Zwift. Zwift need to provide a Basque flag and a Yorkshire flag so that we can race for the places that we love the most.
Oh, okay, yep.
He's representing USA, but I did not go to the USA. I went to Spain. He does live in Spain, in the Basque country, but
that would be fantastic. I'm so insanely jealous that you can just hop from the UK to France to Spain in literally a day.
You can't even leave your country.
I can't even leave a state in a day.
That is crazy. Yeah, you could do the same like Belgium. If you go to Belgium, you can hop across the border to Germany and to Luxembourg and to Switzerland. You can do France, France. You can just do like little bunny hop around some countries. But the problem is the language. Like, I can't speak Spanish.
That's it.
Yeah.
But the great thing is that you're exposed to a lot more languages than we are here. So it's you've got a much better chance of pronouncing some of these names than I do. We just don't have a lot of diversity when it comes to the different nationalities. But certainly, it's fantastic to see these names and to see that spread as well. So it's really awesome to watch. Stuart,
I'm just reading the comments. Yeah, Big Hippo and Baby Hippo. So
who's Big Hippo and who's Baby Hippo? I need to know.
Josh and Rick, obviously, because they were who. So which one's?
Yeah, who's who?
Big Hippo and Baby Hippo. I'm gonna go with Josh is Big Hippo and Rick is
Baby Hippo.
Baby Hippo, possibly. Yeah, I mean it's a 50-50 guess, right? Stuart, can you let us know?
Or Stuart could be setting himself up here.
Yeah.
All
okay,
right,
so top 10 from the ladies. So we have Maria from Abyss Synergy in 10th. Eleanor Wiseman, who was the lady who was doing a lot of attacking, so credit to her, in 9th. Alicia Hag from Beast Mode in 8th. Leah Sophie, the dentist who's been racing for 2 years. I can't get my head around that. 2 years, man.
That's phenomenal.
In 7th from Synergy. Synergy have Abyss Synergy. They have, wow, look at that. I mean, how many in the top 10 there? Christine Schneider, also from Synergy, in 6th. Maria Marr from Beast Mode in 5th. In 4th, Randy Restart. Outstanding, Randy.
Yeah.
Catherine Curie.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Catherine Curie, who was the first lady home from Next in 3rd. And then Sarah Roach in 2nd. And top of the podium is Emilia Velta in 1st place. So I'm just counting up the Synergy ladies there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. Yeah, five Synergy ladies in the top 10. That's got to change the leaderboard.
The dynamics.
And
they're really stamping their authority on this series, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think we have the prelim results as well. So I think if we take,
for a screen update there.
Here we are. Yeah, so I'll do girls and you do guys.
Yep. All right, so in 3rd we had Anthony Powell's. 2nd was the Norwegian Viking Najal Peterson, and 1st was Rick Van Eyck. So congratulations to those guys who got the Beast Mode Prem Awards and the women's.
So Christine Schneider in 3rd, awesome work, Christine. Randy Gino in 2nd. Awesome. I never want to sprint against these ladies, apart from Randy. And Sarah Roach, outstanding. You got the first over the line, Sarah, for the women. That is amazing.
Now I
Yeah, so
think I'm
now I know
just
who to keep an eye on.
I think Sarah. I'm just madly trying to look back at the stats here for the last two races. But I think Sarah might be leading the table there. I mean, Nicole was on the front with 6 points, but I'm just while we're talking, I'm just bringing up the stats for the last two races
Yeah, I just
to
remind everyone
see.
that results are provisional, so these all
Correct.
will be verified during the next few days by
Yes.
Dean. He does an awful lot for this sport. So yeah, so when results are verified, they will be published.
Yes.
So these
Yep.
are
At the moment, they're
provisional.
provisional. They've got to go through the verification processes, and they are quite strict. So
There he is.
certainly, they want to make sure that. There we go.
When he watches this back, this is going to be so funny.
There we go. Yep. I think we should.
He's busy for the last hour.
I think we should try and convince Dean to get some face paint on.
Yeah, on his stream, he needs to put like war paint on, on his cheeks, and take a photo, and then then we can just spam it everywhere.
Do you think though that a kilt is the way to go, or are there riding kilts that he can get hold of?
Do you think he cycles in a kilt?
Good. I don't know.
I like to think
flap
he
around
does.
with the fan.
Oh, he's in the chat. Do you cycle in the chat? Yes, he does. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. Now, who's going to ask that question, huh?
Kilt, no chamois. So yeah.
How do you cope with the chafing?
Well, I'm wondering that. Is it is it specially designed, or is it the full, wool cotton mix? Imagine that.
What kind of a kilt? No chamois. Yeah, he's probably showered in his PJs by now, I reckon. Because there's nothing else to do in Scotland other than ride your bike
and moan about the weather.
Moan about I'll do some detailed pics. Thanks, Dean.
Thanks for doing some detailed pics. But not,
I can't wait.
Dean, not too detailed, okay?
Well,
we don't need to know what you're wearing under the kilt.
I didn't ask.
Sorry?
I didn't ask.
Yeah,
I didn't ask that question. You did.
Yep, no, we don't need to know.
Yeah. So next race.
Next race, yes.
It's with Medio Fondo, which has the most. We've gone from the least elevation
to the most,
and the short route to the most. Yes, it was 73.4 kilometers, and I'm gonna need snacks for that. Never mind these races having gels and whatnot. I'm gonna need popcorn or something. 922 meters. That's almost an Alp, right? 73 kilometers. That's gonna take That's a
massive effort. That's a massive effort. That's going to take quite some time. But this is going to be great to watch, especially with the climbing involved here. It's going to be great to see some of the climbers really stand up and approach this in a way that they've not been able to with some of these flatter routes. So certainly it's going to be a great one to watch. And as you say, a massive effort, because it is going to be a long time in the saddle. 73.4 kilometers, almost 1,000 meters of climbing. This is really tough stuff.
Yeah, that's not mucking around. That is. I think it goes up the Epic and all the hills, basically.
All the hills, and I think it finishes on the Epic. So it is going to be...
It's only one lap, though, so, it's only one lap.
So it should be okay, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah, and also there'd be a badge as well, so...
If they haven't already got it?
I doubt any of these races will already have that badge. I think it's event only for that badge.
So I'm just looking at the profile here. So at 4 watts per kilo, what we're looking at is around 1 hour and 20 minutes, 120 minutes. So, sorry, 1 hour and 20 minutes, almost 2 hours. 2 hours of racing. at 4 watts per kilo, which is about what the leaders are going to be averaging. So a bit more perhaps, but that's the kind of effort that we're looking forward to. So this is going to be fantastic. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. You will get a reminder when we post the link to the next race, race 4. So you can make sure that you're not going to miss out. You'll be able to schedule that. You'll know exactly what's going to happen. Also, drop us a comment if you have watched to the end. Let Dean know how well the series is going. Drop a heart shape in the comments there. Dean's going to be actively looking at that, and he'll check it out. So it'd be great for him to see who's watching this and what everyone thinks. And it's been fantastic so far.
Yeah, be nice because
As I said, yeah, people only complain when there's something they don't like. It's not often that people actually get it there and give some positive comments for when everything's working really well. And this race series has been working very well. So congratulations to Dean and everyone that's been helping. Certainly, it takes a lot of time and effort to put these race series together, to think about the routes, to get people involved, to get everyone encouraged and enthusiastic to participate. It is a big trick. So my hat's off to him.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe he should do this more often after this series. You should do it maybe yearly or something. I'm just volunteering him now. He's like,
just dropping him in it, aren't you?
He's like, oh my God, Holly, just stop talking now.
Yeah, can you let up, please?
Yeah, if next week I'm not on restart, you know why?
You've been booted.
Like, Holly, no, I'm done. Like, get off.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I'll go to Synergy. No, I'm joking.
But I'm just looking at race 4. So they've got the Zwift-Com where they're going through the hilly loop. They've got the Volcano-Com, and then go through the jungle loop, and then they finish on the Epic-Com. So this is probably, I'm going to go to a limb here. I don't know if this is actually the Queen stage, but you'd have to think this is the Queen stage.
Yes. Yeah, we'll go with that. Yep.
Well,
it's got the most elevation.
1,000 meters of climbing.
So yeah. What do they call it, the Queen stage? Is that because it's got the most climbing? Where does that come from?
I really wish you hadn't asked for that question.
No. Maybe someone in the chat will know, because I don't know. I did learn a thing about why it's called preems and primes, because we discussed things before the show, obviously, and I thought it was pronounced prime because that's how it's prime, and apparently it's not. It's called prime because it's come from the French. Oh gosh, what did Damon say?
The French term for gift.
That's it. Yes, the French term for gift. So knowing the French don't really like it when people mispronounce their words, I think I have to say prime from now on. I just thought it just sounded like a bit pretentious and whatnot. I just thought prime. It's just another cycling term that we've turned into something that's like posh, but actually no, it's actually meant to be prime. So being from Yorkshire, I don't want to be pretentious, obviously. So yeah, but it's not that at all. It's just the French way of saying it. So
I'm just getting a chat through that's saying that basically the Queen stage. Some people argue that the Queen stage term derives itself from a chess reference. So there you go.
All right. Okay. A chess reference, like chess, as in like a board with rooks and things.
Yep. Exactly. So the stage is the hardest stage, a king-size day of pain and altitude gain. There are, though, people who argue that the Queen stage derives from a chess reference. So I will look into that further and have some more information for our next race. But that appears to be the case. It's just one of those things, though, that in our sports that we follow and that we participate in, you just come to accept that there's certain terms and references used. And not often do we know all of the terms and where they derive from. So I'm glad you asked that question. Well, actually, not actually, but I'm glad we got an answer to it.
That's your homework to do. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
But another fantastic race. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Now, Dean has assured us that he will be able to calculate and tabulate the details, the race leaderboards, both the team and the individuals across the 3 races coming out of this. So we'll eagerly await to see those, and we'll have them for the next race. So we'll be able to see who's leading in the team stakes, who's leading in the individual, and as I said, who's leading in the Beast Mode Prem Awards there. So that's going to be something to look forward to.
Can somebody take Dean's real picture, and make it, AI it, and then put like blue? Do you think that can be a thing? I think it can be a thing.
Oh, yeah. That'd be great. Yeah, Dean's like, no, don't do that at all. But yeah.
Well, I can see Dean's comment here. It says, "Yeah, Holly." So clearly, he's answering that current comment that I've just said about the blue paint and things. Because I'm not. He couldn't possibly be answering anything else. So
no, that's it. Well, he's saying he's going to give us some detailed pics.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's how we understand it, Dean. So get some detailed pics of you in full face makeup. If you've got a sword lying around, because you're in Scotland, I'm sure there are lots of swords. We just put one of those above your head.
See that? Yeah, Holly. Yeah, I can't wait. I'll be so excited. Can you please race and put on your camera with you in full The Norwegian Viking needs to wear one of those helmets with the horns sticking out of it.
The horns.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, the Vikings. There's actually a Viking centre in a city close to me called York. Useless fact, but great for a pub quiz if that ever comes up. Because the Vikings invaded where I live. Thanks.
Okay. So no lasting bits and pieces, or they just sort of popped in, said hello, and left? Did they get there and go, "Oh, this place is a bit dingy"?
Probably. They tasted the Yorkshire tea and were like, "Nah, I'm off."
This is no good at all.
Yeah.
It just rains all the time.
Yeah, that's definitely what happened. No walls were destroyed in York. Did you know it's actually illegal to ride a bike through a swimming pool in York?
Okay. That happens a lot, that they had to make a law that said that's illegal?
I don't know why this law came about. We don't question these things. We just be like, but it's a fun fact for this. Well, I don't know how fun it is, but it's a fact for this. Yeah. So there you go.
Well, there you go.
I'll see what I can come up with for next race.
I was going to say, you're going to have to tell us some more now, because I'm dying to know what else you can't do. Can't chase a chicken after 5 o'clock.
Yeah, can't. Well, you've got kangaroos. Yeah,
can't drink a bottle of maple syrup in the mornings.
I am quite looking forward to telling you Ryan Dummer's story. I have to read his name because I wrote it on the thing. Because there's a lot to that. But yeah, the basic gist is that he's a special needs teacher and is really doing a lot for the special needs kids in cycling.
Yeah.
So, but it's I've got to make sure I have all the info and whatever else. So yeah. So no time because I've been on my jollies meeting Ika.
Well, yeah, you've been gallivanting around and you're back, and it's going to be good to see you get back on the bike and get some racing on your belt.
Yep, same. Right back at you.
Got any races planned coming up?
I race on another platform.
You got that going on, yeah.
Yeah. So, which is quite. It's yeah. So I'm quite looking forward to it because I don't really know how it's going to go because when I've been off the bike for 2 weeks, so we'll see how it goes. It's quite hard getting. My legs are like, "What is this you doing?"
I thought we'd stop this. We've been on holiday.
Yeah,
we didn't discuss this.
No, so we'll see how that goes, and then I shall report back, and then I'll do some Swifting races. We've got ladder race next week and stuff, so that'll be fun. So
yep. So I've just pasted your Twitch stream in the chat there. For those that are interested in following Holly, jump onto Twitch, www.twitch.tv/HollyBergen, all one word, and you can follow her on there and see what she's up to. But Holly definitely has some really fantastic things coming up. So do yourself a favor, get along, give her a follow, comment as well, and see what's happening there. But I think we'll wrap this up, Holly.
Yep.
So as I said, we've got race 4 coming up. As I said, do yourself a favor if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and you'll be notified when we have the next race. Share and like the comments. Drop us a comment there if you've been watching someone who's been racing. If you know someone who's been racing and they don't know about this, send them a link to this video as well. So this stream, and I'm sure they'll love watching it as well. So it's been really fantastic. Holly, great to have you back. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Happy Easter whilst we're at it.
It won't be that far away, will it?
Well, it must be Easter because you're in the future. Is it not Easter there yet already? Because
I would guess if I was going to go in the supermarket, which I haven't done for the last few days, there'd be some Easter eggs already, unfortunately.
I bet there is. Yeah.
Yeah. They usually come straight out after New Year's.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. All right. So as Brent says, 7:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. Yeah. So in what is that? 12:30, 14 hours, something like that. 13 hours, something. I don't know. At some point, I'll sleep. Yeah. So good luck to everybody racing. Yeah. Fresh legs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you for everyone in the chat. Go like and subscribe, and tune in next time.
Yep. Thanks very much.
Bye.